Star Wars The Acolyte. This is episode 3, baby. The deal breaker, the one that's going to destroy Star Wars, and it's going to polarize the internet, and there's going to be a Star Wars civil war, but there already is one. So don't know if you can break what's broken. It's sort of like Star Wars was like, like one of those plates, one of those beautiful ceramic plates with all of the little, it's like a space setting or something. And then you took that plate and you smashed it on the ground, and you're gonna get bigger chunks and smaller chunks, and it's just all kind of destroyed. You can't really put that plate back together. Well, the Acolytes come with like a little hammer, little ball peen hammer or something, and it's like it's taking all the big pieces and smashing them up a little bit more. Get that grinded in there nicely. Let's talk about this using my space system: story, pacing, artistry, characters, enjoyment. We're going to talk about these 5 categories. We're going to give them a score between 0 and 2. 2 is the best you can get. So you're obviously, this is going to not be on there. Look, I am a original, unaltered trilogy super fan. That's all I care about. That is what Star Wars is to me. I accept the 2 Ewok movies because I personally like Ewoks, because I'm a fool. I like the Ewoks. I'm a sucker for those 2 movies. They're very cute. I'll accept the cartoons, Ewoks and Droids, because I like the theme song of Droids. Ewoks was cute. And then I'll accept the prequel trilogy begrudgingly. It's George Lucas, so I guess it's part of it. So you got your 6 movies. I'll take Rogue One or not. I mean, I like the movie. I feel like it's almost like a fan film that was like really well done, and it's like, yeah, that kind of fits in with Star Wars. It doesn't need to be there, but if you like the movie, put it in. That's it. Unfortunately, I need to cancel everything else. That includes Mandalorian because it's kind of tainted. I like the first couple seasons, I guess. I don't know. Star Wars to me, and everyone has to make this decision on their own. Star Wars to me is a live action film property. That's what Star Wars is. TV shows, Clone Wars, animated, all this, it's fine. Star Wars is massive. So there's a lot going on. But with all my loves, it's very difficult to watch everything. You just can't watch it all. And you really can't even know all the lore. I have many Star Wars books, and I've enjoyed a lot of them. The comic books, the strips, man, the strips from that time, those are badass. Obviously, Marvel Comics, that original run. There's, the Thrawn trilogy, which I've not read, actually. So there's a lot of Star Wars still left to explore. Is Star Wars dead? It depends on what you're counting as Star Wars. What I just watched last night, I don't even count as Star Wars. I'm not even sure what that was. It looked like a Twilight film or something. And I have seen all the Twilight films, so I'm not just saying that. I guess I'm going to give the storyline a score of a 0. I've watched all 3 episodes, and I gave you that little backstory of mine to let you know that I don't know exactly the lore. I'm not the lore master of Star Wars, okay? I have not read every book and seen every show and played all of the video games or anything like that. Like I played the GameCube. There was a ship one. That was neat. I played that when that came out. That's it. So if you're coming to me with some sort of expert Star Wars, look, check out Echo Base Network. Those are the guys that I always liked, and I've been following them. And of course, Star Wars Theory, if you really want to know the big stuff, those are your 2 go-to channels. Those are the only 2 Star Wars channels that I'm subscribed to. Echo Base from day one, and then Theory just because he became so big, I kind of got into his stuff. And I like Qui-Gon Jinn, and he likes Qui-Gon Jinn. So Qui-Gon Jinn's the exception to the prequel trilogy. I just really like him for some reason. Anyway, yeah, this has to be a 0. I don't know what the hell's going on in this show. So I understand what's happening. Like, okay, so there's the girl May and there's Osha. And Osha wanted to be a Jedi, and May didn't, and she's pissed off. So that's sort of your storyline here. Now, I don't know if that's breaking lore. So the way that these 2 kids were conceived was that there was these 2 witch ladies who, I don't know what they did, but they did something, and they created these 2 girls. It's a whole coven of witches. They're bad guys. It's so poorly executed. I'll just tell you the pacing score is 0 as well. Well, no, I'll give the pacing a 0.5. I wasn't bored because it was I was bored, but it was short, so it wasn't like I wasn't dying. But I'll give pacing a 0.5. Story and pacing sometimes go hand in hand, and they do in this one. I'll give the pacing a 0.5. I wasn't like blowing my brains out. I was just bored and disinterested, pretty much. But like, you got this coven of witches, so they're bad guys, I guess, right? They're all in black. They like Star Wars is usually good guys and bad guys, right? It's a fantasy series. There's no orc in J.R.R. Tolkien's world where the orc is like, well, maybe I shouldn't kill hobbits. They're kind of cute, right? Like I like hobbits. Like the orcs are the bad guys. That's it, right? That's how Star Wars is. You can have a little bit of gray in some characters if you need to, but you need to always know who's bad, who's good, in pretty much any situation that you come across, because that's where the tension is building. You're like, oh, these are the bad guys. Okay, I got it. So the witches are the bad guys. They're not exactly portrayed as bad, but they are if you listen to the dialogue, which is absolutely atrocious in almost every scene. They're saying and doing things, and then they're contradicting themselves. So, okay, so I'll give you an example. They're calling the Force a thread, and it's like this thread thing. So the two girls are there, and she's like, there's the thread of the Force, and it's this thread, and it binds us, and it makes it predicts your lives. The thread gives you your future, and it tells you it directs you in life, and you're like, okay. And then later on in the same episode, this is the same episode. It's only like 40 minutes or something. So this is the same episode. She's like, oh, you can make your own choices in life, and you could do whatever you want. But I thought you said the thread controlled our lives. Okay, it doesn't control it in some areas, I guess. Then it's like this thread, it's not a weapon. It is not meant to be wielded. It is not meant to destroy and all this. And then it's like literally the next time she's like in the same scene, she turns, now watch girls. And this girl comes up and she's like, whoosh, and then she makes the Force thing and but you don't wield this as a weapon, but you just used it. And then it's like the Jedi come and it's like, no, there'll be no violence in this coven. You have massive hand weapons and you immediately attack one of the Jedi Padawans. So the stupid guy with the force field in episode 2 where she couldn't punch it or whatever, she attacks him. There'd be no violence. It's like, what are you talking about? It's just, this is like the writing. I can't believe it, guys. I'm not making this up. You know what? Screw it. Please watch the episode. Please watch it. Go watch it. This needs to be watched by every person alive. I want the ratings to go skyrocketing up because I want you to see how garbage and stupid these modern filmmakers are, or whatever you call themselves. I don't know what they call themselves. It's absolutely awful. Look, and we know Doctor Who's dead as hell too, right? Which is awful in a different way. This is like a new level of silliness. I don't know if they're trolling. I mean, there's Tommy Wiseau's The Room, which has very poor acting, but it has better understandable story. I mean, I don't know. This is crazy. Guys, is this going to break Star Wars because it's breaking the lore and I guess two ladies can't have a kid or something? Who cares? It's awful anyways. Like, you know, I love the Dick Tracy movie, but like all of the Dick Tracy classic villains get killed and you're like, well, that kind of sucks. Yeah, but like it's an entertaining movie. Like you can't even get entertainment out of this. This is worse than the Skywalker or Rise of the Skywalker. Easily worse than that for sure. Because Rise of the Skywalker still had action. There were some fights or something at least. Like what the hell is this? Is there going to be any fighting in this thing? And I know it's a TV show. This is why Star Wars doesn't work as a TV show, in my personal opinion. Star Wars was always based on serials, right? And serials always have action. Remember, they were cliffhangers. So every 15 minutes, you had to end it off on something so that you come back. Now, in that sense, Star Wars could work in small chunks. You could probably do 30-minute episodes if you ended them on cliffhangers to get people excited. But in order to have that, you need to have action every time. You almost need to have, 15, 20 minutes of story and then 10 minutes of like fights, because there needs to be some action in Star Wars. There's none here. So all of that stuff, there's so many contradictions here in this one. And it's like, And the one mom's like, well, I don't want you to become a Jedi. Well, can't I do what I want? So the witches are evil. Like they chant these weird chants like 1 into the power of 1, the power of 2, the power of many will do what? Like, what are you chanting for? What is the what is the outcome of this? Is it just a ceremony? So it's a ceremony for May and Osha to become made. I don't know, like it's like, you will now be official witches after you chant this. It's like, okay. And it's like, I don't want to be a witch because it sucks. I'm like, yeah, I agree with you. It does suck. You just stand around and do nothing all day. There's no men witches either because of reasons that we all know. Sure, okay, there's a coven of women. It's a good thing that she didn't give birth to 2 boys. That would have been a problem. That would have been a problem. 2 boys. Uh-oh, I guess we better kill both of them. Anywho, so there's that irritating garbage to boot. Yeah, so I'll give the pacing a 0.5 because I didn't blow my brains out because it was only 40 minutes or whatever. But the artistry, you know, I was thinking, so there's a part where May goes Carrie and goes just insane and lights fired everything because she's pissed off. And everyone, now it wasn't very clear if everyone died in that fire. I feel like they could have fought the fire. Like they're witches, can't they make rain or something? Like so the artistry score, I'll give it a 1. I'll give it a 1 for the artistry. Look, it didn't look, it was not great, but it wasn't like garbage bad. Like, you know, the Coven looked okay, I guess. You know, I do like the Jedi's outfits. I don't really like the idea that the Jedi are wearing the Obi-Wan Kenobi robes, but they do look kind of cool with the white. So I'll give it a pass. You know, I like the Wookiee guy. He looks kind of neat. So there's music, like it was okay. I'll give it a 1 point. You know, I don't want to beat the crap out of this thing in the art department. I know a lot of people work hard to bring you these like sets and costumes and whatever visual effects that they're doing. So I don't want to beat up those craftsmen, right? Like they're doing the best that they can, but it's not compelling enough for Star Wars. That's the problem. So I can't really give it more than a 1. So I'll give it a token 1 point because you know, they worked hard on it. The characters were a little bit in a situation here. I actually like the guy from that Squid Game, right? Saul is the character's name. I actually like him. I think that there's something in that guy. I think he can do good here. I feel like he's the only one who cares about what's going on. I think that this guy, a Korean actor, I believe, I'm not sure. Squid Game was Korean. You got this guy, you brought him over here, and you're like, okay, you're going to be in Star Wars. And I think this guy's like, oh wow, I'm going to be in Star Wars. Well, I'm going to really own this role and all that. And I don't think that's the case with anyone else. We didn't see any of the other regular people from the first 2 episodes. We saw Carrie-Anne Moss, who I think she thinks that Jedi don't have personality. I don't know why they think that. Like, it seems to me that their interpretation of Jedi is that they're just these like soulless, like space cops or something. Like it's like, we are the Jedi. We are here to take your children. No, don't take my baby. I want to train my baby to be an evil witch and attend witch parties and like sell stuff in space. Like, I don't like, what do the witches do? I don't know. Only we can use the power. You cannot use this power. It's like, okay, you can't use the power, but I can use the power. Yeah, you're good. So random. Oh boy. So the Jedi, so she just talks the way, I think she just talks like the way, you know, she thinks it's like, oh, I'm a boring Jedi. Like, to me as a kid growing up, the Jedi were like the most exciting things that you could be, right? Like, I remember people like saying, oh yeah, I'm a Jedi. And like, listen, no kid in the universe walked into a grocery store and didn't do the Force opening the doors, right? You're like, whoosh, and then the door. Like, the Jedi were the most exciting thing. They've just made them so bland. Is that what the lore breaking? Let me know what the lore breaking is in the comments. I'm sorry, this is going on too long. I'm gonna wrap this sucker up. I'll give it a 0.5 for the characters. Look, I like that Saul guy. What are you gonna do about it, right? Make a video and tell me I'm an idiot then. I like them. That's it. Everyone else, they suck badly. The two little girls, you know, they're little kids. What are you gonna say? Yeah, I'm not gonna beat up little kids. I didn't mind OSHA, I guess, as a little kid because she's like, yeah, this place sucks. She's like, I don't want to be here in this losery place. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be here either. Come on, kid, let's get the hell out of this. Let's get out of this area, man. This place sucks. I'm like, yeah, this does suck. So, you know, she's all right. Who else was in this one? I like the Wookiee guy. I like a Wookiee Jedi. I don't know, maybe that's lore breaking. You know, Wookiee can't be a Jedi. Maybe that's a thing too. So there's a lot of lore breakage in this one. And if there's lore breakage, great. Let me know what it is. I'll just tell you that there's script breakage and pacing breakage and like any sense of realism breakage. This thing's busted up. I'm going to give the enjoyment factor a 0. This thing sucks. What did I give it? 2 out of 10. A 2. Well, you got more than Doctor Who this week, so congratulations, Acolyte. You weren't as garbage as Doctor Who. 2 out of 10, guys. What the hell's going on here? Oh my God, this is brutal. There is so much more to talk about. You need to watch this episode. And listen, don't tell me in the comments you don't want to watch it. You better watch this thing. I want you to suffer just like everybody else is suffering. Stop taking the internet for granted. And listen, and if you didn't watch this, and don't thumbs down this video. I just saved you big time. I know you just watched this for 15 minutes. If you watch till the end, put belt. B-E-L-T, belt, like a belt you wear. Put belt in the comments to let me know you watched this long. So I really appreciate you guys for watching all this. But I just saved you some time and some stress. So you better like this video because I just saved you big time by telling you not to watch this garbage. But I actually think you should watch it because I want you to feel the suffering and I want you to see how silly it is. It's so bad. I think they're trolling. There's no way somebody made this seriously. Anyways, it's awful. But thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you're interested. If not, that's cool. That's it. Until next time.